if you could keep on, because the force, it's got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like it makes me feel like oh, power. Sensation. Take us through the hours. I won't be fading. This is love. Keep on with the posters. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the posters. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the posters. Don't stop till you get enough. Keep on with the posters. Don't stop till you get enough.
Damn, that makes me feel good. If you are able to completely sit still through this song, You're much, much whiter than I am. The Jew in me's got to move. Did you hear they tried to shoot up my brothers and sisters at a synagogue in San Diego? I'm laughing because they keep on attacking us Jews like it's going to work out good for them. A 60-year-old woman. A 60-year-old woman. A 60-year-old woman jumped in front of her beloved rabbi and saved his bloody life. Come on, one more from Micheal Jackson. All y'all that come by to see me later, thank you, because ain't nobody here right now. Just me and the chickens. I found out I can use this song for free. Thank you, Micheal Jackson. God rest your soul. I know you'd never heard a youngster. Thanks for all the beautiful music.
Girl, close your eyes. Let that rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I'll rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. I'll rock with you all night. Gonna rock the night away. Out on the floor, there ain't nobody there but us. Girl, when you dance, there's a magic that must be love. Just take it slow. We got so far to go. When you feel that heat, and we gonna ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night. We gonna rock the night away. And when the groove is dead and gone, yeah, you know that love survives. So we can rock forever. I wanna rock with you. Ooh. Ha-ha. All night, some night, all night, all night, sunlight, all night, rock the night away. All night. Oh man, it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Micheal Jackson, the king of pop. Now for a public service announcement. Micheal Jackson didn't do nothing. That's it. Get a long explanation. You want a long explanation that makes a lot of academic sense? Go on over and see my good brother, wonderful friend that has visited the channel a couple times. Thank you very much. Razor Fist. Check him out. Unfortunately, I'm not saying he would never come back. I haven't been asking people. I haven't asked anybody back in a year. And I'm not, nobody's beating down my door too. I should make that clear. But the first time we were on,
God bless her, Amanda Wolfchild. It's like we all seen his video. And here's Amanda Wolfchild. Hey, Michael Jackson's a child molester. I was like, whoa! And then the next time we had Razor Fist on, another girl. I thought, I don't know why, but I thought in my head, well, you know, if we're going to have guests, we should have girls, disarm them, you know, maybe make them feel a little bit better about their life. You know, this is a little weird because now that I'm broadcasting that, and I checked the list. Both of those songs were on the list of songs that I could play, and now it says this hangout on air will end if you continue to broadcast content you're not authorized to use. I imagine it's Michael, the Michael Jackson stuff, but the problem is I think Michael Jackson would love what I'm saying. So anyway, the second time we had on Weeaboo Jones. Hope everybody's supporting Weeaboo Jones. They're trying to really ostracize her at her college. Anybody out there doesn't know who Weeaboo Jones is, ask me and I'll tell you. She's great. She talks about her 47-foot long dick. She's nuts. She's a little nuts, but she's intelligent. And I mean, she's nuts like I would like to submit like myself. I mean, a good nuts, not like the bad kind of nuts that you don't want living next to you. Just the nutty person that you know is a little crazy when they walk in the door. Oh yeah, they had her on the next time, and of course, Razor Fist is a big supporter of Joe Arpaio. And I don't even remember what the specific topic was, but it was like, so Razor Fist. This is not. I'm being Weeaboo Jones. So Razor Fist, it looks like you may support Joe Arpaio when he is a Mexican-hating racist piece of shit. Now, mind you, I love this girl. What happened was, I should have given her some information or showed her where to look. She's intelligent. She is a right winger too, but I think she just might have went on. I'm speaking out of turn because I don't know what she did. My assumption that's making an asshole out of me and her is that she went online and she read the first few things that popped up about Joe Arpaio, and they were, you know, bad, and they were were not true. So anyway, I got some other shit here I can play, and nobody will do much about it. I'll play some music and see who shows up. Michael Jackson didn't do nothing.
George,
here's one I can play if I want.
Go very well.
Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. 602. And I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this.
Complete satisfaction.
602, 602, 602, 602 is the light. 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 602
Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Never give and I'll never be this. Sing songs, us sings this. Us and never give us this. Us and never give us and never this once and never give us and never give us this once and never give us and never give us this once and never give us and never give us this once and never give
Search of deep satisfaction.
Just say, baby, more than I can do. Mr. Tyson, honey,
I'm gonna beat his ass for you.
I'm so crazy when you are not around. I'm a wizard, honey, I can make the world not be so round. 'Cause I feel so new, reason is you. I get you lady, oh it's so true. I feel so fine, like ocean blue. Ooh, 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 ooh. So won't you give me a lovin'? Feel so good. Give me a feeling. So good. Give me a lovin'. You're the magic. Give me all your love. So won't you give me a lovin'? Feel so good. Give me a feeling. So good. Give me a lovin'.
You're the magic.
Give me all your love. You're so fine, babe. I need something new. Mr. Charlie's only, he will never cheat on you. I'm like fire, music without a tune. You can be the first, babe. I can get you to the moon. 'Cause I feel so new. The reason is you. I get you lady. Oh yes I do. I feel so fine, like ocean blue. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
So won't you give me a lovin'?
Woo.
Give me a feeling. So good. Give me a lovin'. You're the magic. Give me all your love. Won't you give me a lovin'?
Woo.
Won't you give me a feeling? Won't you give me a lovin'? You're the magic. Give me all your love. Won't you give me a lovin'?
Woo. Give me a feeling.
Give me a lovin'. You're the magic. Give me all your love. Give me a lovin'. Won't you give me a feeling? Won't you give me a lovin'? You're the magic. Give me all your love.
Up to them top box. Yeah. I got this list, Tim Tarbox, and I've been trying to go off of it, but even some of the songs I played, they flashed the warning. They're getting really strict right now. So here's some Golly music. I'm going to keep it coming. This is Golly music. I really hope you enjoy it. If you'd like a link to this, Tim, or anybody else that shows up later, just ask the ogre. He'll give it to you.
Politicians doing great. Just be patient, have faith. Global warming so real.
To the top, gasoline.
So true. So true. Finally, many fingers pointing me, yelling just conspiracy. Man, I'm just out of the box, still sign of Stevie Fox. At the end, I wanna say, we just need to sit and pray. Like a rocky, true, don't be no monkey. It's not logical. Oceans on the ball, staring like a fool in my HE balloon overseas. magic of gravity. Welcome to the hood. Reality of Hollywood. Welcome to the hood. Reality of Hollywood. The biggest crime is in a bank. Call it just a money prank. But these men working still free. Folks are calling misery. Ooh, so true. So true. Only you. One is acting very strange, falling out of sun range. Billion tons of concrete, kicking nature to defeat. Heavy and I wanna say, we just need to sit and pray. Treat me like a rocky, true to being a monkey. It's not logical, oceans on a ball. Staring like a fool in my aging balloon flying over the sea. Magic over gravity. Welcome to the hood. Reality of Hollywood. Welcome to the hood. Reality of Hollywood. So true, yeah. Only you. From a monkeys to the space, call it just a human race. Kids are dying from disease, on the bottom of the list. Heavy and I wanna say, we just need to sit and pray. Treat me like a rocky, true to being a monkey. It's not logical, oceans on the ball. Staring like baboon in my aging balloon over the sea. Magic over gravity. Welcome to the hood. Reality of Hollywood. Welcome to the hood. Reality of Hollywood.
The reality of Moneywood.
Reality of
Moneywood. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that Golly Music puts out a tune that doesn't mention flat earth theory. And you heard it in that one, hit me like a rocket, oh, no need to stop it, it's not logical, oceans on a ball. Staring like baboon in my aging balloon flying over sea. The logic of gravity. And I mean, what he's talking about, all that whole chorus right there is basically dog whistles for flat earthers. I mean, they use that term. So I think that in this case, the dog whistle term is actually the right use. So I'm going to get up and take a beer piss and play this Mountain Goats. I used to turn the camera off, but fuck it. Got nothing to hide here. And then you'll see, yeah, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm just taking a piss. I'll be right back.
Listen to the engine roar.
it. A girl named Kathy wants a little of my time. 6 cylinders underneath the hood, crashing and kicking. Ah, listen to the engine whine. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me.
A little harmonizing.
I played video games in a drunken haze. I was 17 years young. Hurt my knuckles punching the machines. The taste of Scotch rich on my tongue. And then Kathy showed up and we hung out, trading swigs from the bottle, all bitter and clean, locking eyes, holding hands, twin high maintenance machines. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I drove home in the California dusk. I could feel the alcohol inside of me hum. Pictured the look on my stepfather's face, ready for the bad things to come. I downshifted as I pulled into the driveway. The motor screaming out, stuck in second gear. The scene ends badly, as you might imagine. In a cavalcade of anger and fear, there will be feasting and dancing in Jerusalem next year. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me. I am gonna make it through this year if it kills me.
You know, I remember a time when people would have stood up for Michael Jackson. I hate to go back to that, but we live in a pussy society. We live in a mamby-pamby, faggot-ass fucking world. We live in a world where Joe Biden's expected to apologize to Anita Hill. I picked that example intentionally. I have no love for Joe Biden. I have no fealty to Anita Hill. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. Either Joe Biden was doing his job as he saw fit then, and things changed and he has no foresight, or he does his best to appeal to us and say, listen, I've changed and now I have foresight. You know what? You don't get to say that. No one gets to say that. I hate Chris Hansen. The whole thing that he did with that child molester deal, there was entrapment bullshit. Nobody talked to any 13-year-olds. I mean, the whole thing was a fucking disgusting travesty of justice. I think the people that were involved in that, the old lady pretending, she's sick. She's disgusting. These people are disgusting. You find them when they're actually trying to hook up with 13-year-olds. Don't make up fake pictures of girls with lollipops trying to entice men that may have never acted on this disgusting. Look, and I don't want to be the one that is an apologist for men that are attracted to very young but post-pubescent or during puberty. In other words, they're developing sexually. They are not. Listen, and it's very sick too. And look, I'm going to take time to break this down because there is a difference between a pedophile and someone who now abides by our laws, which Everyone, in my opinion, should. I want to make that clear now. What do you mean, ogre? What do you're a pedophile? Well, I've been called that before, so call me again. I don't give a fuck. What I mean is this: if a man or woman looks on a boy or girl with no hair on their genitalia, not developed genitalia, tiny genitalia, young children, and they have sexual desire, that's you're very, very, very sick. If a man looks at or a woman looks at a 14, because it happens with both. You see teachers all the time, man. These women teachers all the time. So don't give me that shit. It happens all the time. And you don't know how often it happens in other places where they're not teachers. You don't know. I know what my neighborhood was like in 1986 when I was young. I know what the women in my neighborhood was like. And they'd fuck a young kid, some of them, if they were given a chance. But the point being, we have laws now. And this is an example of a man or a woman looking at this 14, 15-year-old Adonis. Beautiful, young, vibrant, sensual, able to have children. This is something that normal folks, it's like alcoholism, folks. This is something normal folks, when confronted with it, say, oh, well, yeah, okay, yeah. I can't deny, but I'm not even going to allow my mind to dwell on the fact that 16-year-old girl is something else. I'm going, because she's 16. And I think Gavin McGinnis made like a really good point. What are you going to do? I mean, if you fuck one of these girls, if you're like my age, right? And you get a 15-year-old girl and you fuck her, what are you doing? Are you going to talk afterwards? You got a lot in common. What are you going to do? It's so ridiculous that it borders on the incomprehensible. And we have these laws in place because parents don't want their young daughters wooed off by Judge Moore. I mean, I'm not joking. He was like 30 years old. He's snooping around, man. Some 14, 15-year-old. And down there, he did it right. They even mentioned it and then they made fun of it, that he went to the parents. There was no Roy Moore. There was no conspiracy or cover up. He liked these young girls. He was in a good position. He wanted to marry them. Who knows? Who knows what kind of husband he'd be in? Most of those situations, you end up with a guy that can monetarily take care of the person that they're with, but is basically I don't know. I'm not a pedophile. Remember, a pedophile desires a youth prepubescent, pedophile, prepubescent, someone that loves the prepubescent, pedophile, the love of the pubescent. Okay, it's backwards the way. Okay, you got me. You understand? You want to and do pursue, and you end up fucking a 14-year-old girl when you're 32. You got a problem. It's our society at this point, yes, but you're not going to marry her. You don't need some frontier wife and want to get her young. And a lot of that is that, yes, it's that, folks. It's, oh my goodness. If you were going to live out in the middle of Nebraska, you were going to go and you're going to try to be a Sooner. You're out there running to see if you can get your freaking, what'd they call it? It ended up being like a quarter-mile square. If you're running out there to get that, you're out there to get your homestead. Yeah, you want a 14, 15-year-old girl that you can help and you can kind of take the place of father for. We don't really need that in our society now as much. I'm not even gonna lie. Yes, we do. We do, people. We do. I can't lie to you. I just tried to lie. I was gonna use some of my fancy psychobabble and I was just gonna fucking lie to you. God save me. God forgive me. I'm not gonna lie to you. We still need it, people. We still need it. We remodeled the bathroom, my wife and I, this last week. And, I found myself allowing her to make mistakes and then explaining to her afterwards. And we've been married 25 years. But I have this need and this desire to nurture her, to help her understand. In her mother-like, Madonna-like, wants to nurture me in the way men need to be nurtured, and to bring out some of the emotions that I suppress that are naturally suppressed by my testosterone by the wiring to my medulla oblongata, by the way that males interact with their pituitary gland, by the way that males interact with their pineal gland. We have a different reaction to the same chemicals, and we have different chemicals, of course, is the reason why we have different reactions with the same chemicals. Because those same chemicals released into our body hit the male chemogenetic makeup, and they have a completely different outcome than they do when they hit the female chemogenetic makeup. It's completely different. Fuck, man. Why do they want to take this away? It's not white culture. It's not any culture. It's the logic. And let me be honest, white culture advanced before the others. Okay, we had the best music, the best art. We still do. It doesn't mean, and somebody's saying, well, what about the blacks and music? Okay, we created 4/4 time, folks. We created the treble clef. There would be nothing but I don't even want to go there because it might sound racist. You know what? Fuck it if it sounds racist. Look at Africa, okay? That would be the music. The Britisher has a wonderful video on white culture. Go watch it, and you'll see what I was trying to encapsulate in a very tiny package. Social norms can be good if you want to protect your 14-year-old daughter that could have a different life than being a frontier wife. If the majority of society, which is the case now, wants it that way and can't stand to think of a 28, 30-year-old man who is now ready to go and start a life and wants a young, beautiful wife, or fat and ugly, who knows what they are, whatever, wants a wife. And so, boom. And as I said, you choose young. This was experimented with back then. I'm sure I didn't live them. I can imagine. Who would you rather take to your new homestead where they had to live there? Man, I mean, my goodness, it was a lot to ask. If you got someone that was independent minded, they would never make it. Not because the male ruled the house, the woman ruled the house in the Old West and in our frontier ages all over in the Middle East, all over. Wasn't about that, because I hear all this about the patriarchy. We lived in a matriarchy until women got the right to vote. It started to change. And now we have this weird patriarchy. They talk about smash the patriarchy. You fucking asshole bitches are the ones that invented it. Now you want us to smash it. We want to smash it. We never liked it. We wanted you to yell at us and tell us to take off our hat. And we wanted to pretend that you had some kind of authority, and we took our hats off. But now you're trying to make it like you can impose that upon us as males. And I mean us males. And you can't. You cannot. We willingly submit the role that you have to you. You either accept it or you don't. You also do the same. I'm not trying to say what it was like. Men are not God. You do the same. You impose rules on us, and we abide by them. You know, my roosters, my hens, the females, my hens, my birds, my chickens, my female hens, they up because you can female hen. There's no male hen, by the way. My hens, they pick a rooster. They love that rooster. Now other roosters come and fuck them. Believe me, they do. But they pick a rooster. They love that rooster. They follow that rooster around. That rooster will find a grub. I mean, a fucking grub the size of my thumb, and he'll go pick it down and go. Make all these cooing, clucking sounds and display this to his hen, and his hen will come over and eat it. And I do. I mean, I see the relationships develop in the chicken yard. And the hens don't deviate. They love their rooster. They don't care what he does either. Coincidentally, he fucks other hens. He does. Not usually, but he does. The roosters, same thing, except they hang out with other hens from time to time. Now, I'm not making any excuse for mankind, for men, for human beings. Because just like I said about, the 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girl, the post-pubescent child or boy, girl or boy, that the man or woman may be attracted to, that's not a social norm anymore, okay? Get it? So sleeping around a lot on your mate or at all in this society is not a social norm. Is this fucking boring? Is this the most boring thing you ever heard? Does everybody just want to leave now? Because I'm getting all, psychology and I'm supposed to be getting drunk and playing music. Listen, we all need to be a little more like memes of destruction. We all need every opportunity we have. We all need to take the opportunity to say, what about humanity? What about what is going to be most nurturing for this person or that person? What about what will make me feel the best inside? But we all need to be also a little more Britisher and have a stick shoved so far up our asshole that we can't slouch. We need both. We need both. I think that social norms, gender roles have switched, have changed. They're not switched, they've changed. But they'll never, let me say that. Gender roles have changed, but they'll never switch. The dudes like myself, the alpha dudes that are outgoing, always the loudest at the party, drink the most beer, bang the most pussy, got the fastest car there, work the hardest, have the most money in their pocket. They'll always have the chick like my wife. You've all seen her. They'll always will. I mean, she's 40 some years old. Imagine what she looked like when she was 19. Anyway, boy, I was just thinking about her when she was 19. She's still beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Oh my God. Oh, good God. She was like the Scottish goddess, this Highland red-haired harpy come down from the hills to slay, kill, and take what was hers. That's why we get along. That's why we got along. That's why we get along. She's alpha as fuck. She never had a lot of girlfriends. Girls don't like her. Partly because she's beautiful and doesn't seem to know it. And partly because she can kick every girl's ass in the room. Mentally and physically. I was in a brawl one time and with two dudes that jumped me at a ball bat. Man, it's a long story, but to end, fended one off, but the other, man, it was a lot on me. And I was on the ground on my stomach with the bat underneath me. And he's still there. And I had his hand trapped. She didn't know this. Actually broke his wrist and forearm. It's all on the police report. But as I'm breaking his arm, he's got his other arm and he's hitting me in the back of the head. He's hitting me and it looks bad to Jennifer. Jennifer grabbed a jack handle, ran out there. I could hear it going. I'm not kidding. And I could smell shit. She beat the shit out of him and broke every fucking rib in the back. All of his back ribs were putty. And I'm telling you, as soon as she hit him the first time, it was like, wow, he's not resisting. This is going very good. And even, I'm talking about the span of 7, maybe 10 seconds. She'd already hit him 15 times. Oh God. Anyway, I love my wife, and maybe one day she'll be here and you could question me and she'll recount that. It's not a joke, not exaggeration. In fact, I'm leaving a lot out because if I really went through that night at Walter Leffler's house in Beaverton, Michigan, when the brawl happened, boy, that was something else. Oh, and gender roles. Gender roles are good. They're good. But don't be unequally yoked. It's even in the Bible. If you're a Christian, find a Christian. If you're a Muslim, find a Muslim. If you're black, find a black. If you're white, find a white. If you're alpha, find an alpha. If you're beta, find a beta. Now, they say opposites attract, and that's true. My wife and I are exact opposites, but we're both alphas. And you can be exact opposites, but both be alphas. You can't be exact opposites and both be alphas. Yes, you can. You really can. You can be exact opposites, but still both be alphas. Yeah, let me play a song. I got to go get another beer. This is a good one. It's called Love, Love, Love by Mountain Goats.
King Saul fell on his sword, when it all went wrong. And Joseph's brothers sold him down the river for a song. And Sonny Liston rubbed some tiger balm into his glove. Some things you do for money, and some you do for love, love, love. Raskolnikov felt sick, but he couldn't say why. When he saw his face reflected in his victim's twinkling eye. Some things you'll do for money, and some you'll do for fun. But the things you do for love are gonna come back to you one by one. Love, love is gonna lead you by the hand into a white and soundless place. Now we see things as in a mirror dimly. Then we shall see each other face to face. And way out in Seattle, young Kurt Cobain snuck out to the greenhouse, put a bullet in his brain. Snakes in the grass beneath our feet, rain in the clouds above. Some moments last forever, but some flare out with love, love, love.
It's true, folks. Some moments last forever. Some flare up with love. Yeah, one more by the Mountain Goats. Hey, if I can have just a one more song break, press. Wow, man, MC JK just got here. Well, MC, sit through this tune, and I'll be right back. This is a good one. You might like it. Up the Wolves by the Mountain Goats. And good to see you, MC JK. It's been great news the last few days, by the way. Really been impressed.
There's bound to be a ghost at the back of your closet. No matter where you live, there'll always be a few things, maybe several things, that you're gonna find really difficult to forgive. There's gonna come a day when you feel better. You'll rise up free and easy on that day, and float from branch to branch, lighter than the air. Just when that day is coming, who can say, who can say? Our mother has been absent ever since we founded Rome. But there's gonna be a party when the wolf comes home. We're gonna commandeer the local airwaves to tell the neighbors what's been going on. And they will shake their heads and wag their bony fingers in all the wrong directions, and by daybreak we'll be gone. I'm gonna get myself in fighting trim, scope out every angle of unfair advantage. I'm gonna bribe the officials, I'm gonna kill all the judges. It's gonna take you people years to recover from all of the damage. Our mother has been absent ever since we founded Rome. But there's gonna be a party when the wolf comes home. Oh!
Well, I was going to try to get Common Sense Guy on here, but as you can see in the chat there, he's busy eating his tea. Yes, English people eat their tea. And they sit on the settee. Oh, anyway, probably have another toke here. I didn't really smoke enough pot during the break. But, this whole thing has been in my mind. It's like development, difference in the genders. And, there's no difference. And why is it that if there's no difference, if you leave them to their own devices, girls, and when I was said about nurturing, I'm gonna make this point. Yes, while we were remodeling the bathroom, I was nurturing my wife because, listen, men, and I also made the point that she nurtures me emotionally and tells me, there's sometimes you can let things out and you can express things. Because whereas the females develop emotionally very quickly, they're 6, 7 years old. They're in a house that's already built, on a table, already built, using teacups mama bought them, practicing their manners. And the boys, 7 years old, they're out in the back. If it was, I don't know how it is now. When I was young, hope it's still the same. They're out in the back in a tree fort with bent over nails and croggled cigarette butts and dirty magazines stashed. And they've all decided that they have no idea what a pussy is, but that the receptacle is in the same place on all girls. I mean, and it's like, we don't care. We spit and we see who can fart the loudest and whip out our penises and see who can pee the furthest and the longest. No kidding. Pissing contest. No kidding. And we develop mechanically much faster. So you have the females developing emotionally, socially, and you have the males bonding in a male social way and developing mechanically very quickly. And what you have there in the end, if you leave it alone, is a wonderful mixture of two genders that serve a different task. Are they forced to? No. In the vast majority of people, it's exactly the way they would have it. In a few people, they wouldn't have it that way. Do what you want, man. This is 2019. You can do whatever you want. You can act like you're oppressed, but you're not. In the United States, you can. I mean, I'm looking at Drudge today. They chopped 5 people's heads off. One guy sent a couple messages on Instagram. Chopped a kid's fucking head off. Clean. Where are the gay pride parades? All these gay pride, we will not be stopped. We're going to do all this shit about Donald Trump. Take your faggot fucking ass. Grab your cock-smoking, rug-munching asshole friends. Get on a boat. Chug your way over to Saudi Arabia where they just chop the fucking heads off of 5 of your bros, you fucking lying faggots. You're going to oppress me now because you got the bully pulpit? Because the media's on your side? Yeah, look, fuck you, man. Fuck you and your faggot fucking ass. Fuck you and your lesbo eye. I don't give a fuck about you. No more than you care I'm cis. What? Because I ended up with a better life than you did? Because being normal is easier? Fuck you. I would never submit to a society where they say we need to make the abnormal easy and the normal difficult. Fuck that. Well, as you can see, I'm dropping these F-bombs, man. Being a general ogre. Oh, man. I'm going to play another song or two before I get out of here. I really am. I don't even know why, because I love you people. Excuse me. Waiting on Mrs. Ogre, too. She'll be here anytime. You know what? In the end, if you imagine a file, if you ever used a file of any kind, if you imagine a file, One way it cuts, another way it cleans. You can bring it back the way it cleans, it'll never, ever cut. You can go the way it cuts, and it'll never clean. It won't work either way, because if you go the way it cuts, the teeth get built up with metal. And it'll make it like a flat surface. You gotta have both strokes. You heard that? Different strokes rule the world. Yeah, it takes different strokes. It does. Different strokes for different folks and all that. But we do have to have certain strokes, because if you don't have them, you got nothing. You have nothing. You're pushing your file and it's doing nothing. Do we want to reshape or do we not? That's why the analogy of a file. Do we want to reshape? Do we want to change? Would we like to help people to be a little more civilized, I guess is what they're trying to say. See, I'm against all this stuff. Do you want to make it clear? Well, if you do, then meet people where they're at, because civilizing people, man, I'm telling you, I'm going back and forth, but follow me. Please follow me on this conscious stream of life. If you try to civilize people, why would you do that? Uncivilized, unchained people, free to do what they will, built the Sistine Chapel. They built Westminster Abbey. They constructed the road plan for London. Because that don't make no sense. That's why I mentioned it. I mean, you got a London cabbie. Holy shit on me, man. Ain't like New York where you got the avenues and the streets and the, 42nd and 23rd, and you should easily just, all you know, the east and west, north, south, boom, it's easy. No, my God. It's like some kind of horrific maze, like a horrific carnival maze, mirror maze. You have no idea where you're going. Then I've heard the streets too. It's like we have even on one side, out on the other in the street here. Like it'll be, 235 on this side, 236 on the other, even and odd. So if you see that they're odd on that side and you're looking for 217, you don't even look on the right side anymore. You look over to the left and you look for the odd number. When the odd number comes up, apparently they'll go like up one side. They'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down the end of the street and then come back 91, 92, 93. And by the time they get, so this side will be 1 and this side will be 95. Who knows? It's just no rhyme, no reason to it. Oh, and the English conquered the world. But they did understand the gender dynamic and dichotomy, the duality of the species. They did understand that. We hear about from the Jungian duality of man. Oh, my goodness, I already said some things today. So, maybe we won't go there. Anybody know who Jung is? Anybody follow Jung? Anybody a Jungian? I was before Peterson. It's so cool. It's so refreshing. But one difference is I do name my God, and I do believe that there is a specific creature far somewhere, probably beyond the Horsehead Nebula, a majestic and mighty being with such power and such ability that we just can't even possibly comprehend it. Oh, and if you want me to talk about that one day, well, I'm surely not going to get into that today. I love life, and I love the mystery of life. Now, we could all say, hey, man, let's feel good. Let's let people in prison vote, and then we could, say, well, we love life. But there's no mystery then, there's no question. There's no nuance. It's like, all right, we're all equal. No, we're not. There's differences. And yes, I'm a staunch, I didn't correct Common Sense Guy the other night because he was closer to the truth probably than I am when I profess, if we look at what I believe, when I practice. But I do consider myself an anarcho-capitalist, even though a lot of people would describe me as a libertarian, a very, very hard-leaning libertarian. Be what it is. Be what it may. Michael Jackson didn't do nothing. Be good to your friends. Be good to your family members. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quick to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, family member, loved ones does. It's so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because at a time you think not, your friends, family member, loved one, everyone you know will depart from you.
get into you. Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. You gotta feel that heat, and we can ride the boogie. Share that beat of love. I wanna rock with you all night. Dance you into the sunlight. I wanna rock with you all